Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Geek Chat on the Experience. We have got a great show full of comic books for you. No TV, just straight up comic books. The geeks are talking comics today. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, it's Thursday. That means it's Geek Chat time. I'm one of your hosts, Beardy Rich.
And I'm Little Black Beardy Daz.
And we have got a show for you today. Some books I didn't think I'd like, believe it or not.
Real quick though, before we start, looks like the comment section is coming in hot.
I know.
Thank you, everybody.
I love it.
So,
Steve,
yes.
Eddie, Leonard, Paul, welcome in.
Welcome in.
Glad you're all joining us.
We have a fantastic show. All thrillers, no fillers. We're not talking about TV today or movies or anything. Like Rich said, it's all comics. So let's get started with our first comic that we're going to be giving away for everybody. And that is this beautiful absolute. I want to say ultimate. Marvel.
Ultimate.
Sorry. Absolute Wonder Woman number 7 by Dustin Young. It is a 1 in 25. It's a 1 in 25 variant cover on that beautiful DC Heartstock, and it could be yours. All you have to do is put in the comments, type in with your little fingers if you're the Hunt Pet method like I do, hashtag Geek Chat to enter to win. Thank you so much. Sideburn. Kyle, I watched your stream earlier today. We were packing comics. I like the little man chops you're doing right now. It's pretty cool. Enter the win. We want to give this away. Do know that if no one claims this cover, we will unfortunately have to give it to Rich. So please.
Oh no, I want this cover.
So please, put in that hashtag. We want to send it to you. We want to give it to you. Do you know though that you can only win once every 30 days? And I have my handy dandy notes, right here. So I will know. So
as you're looking
right here. So okay. I know. So do not. So yes. Anyway, let's get started. And just coincidentally,
that's our first book.
It's the first book we're going to talk about. It is. So before we start talking about Wonder Woman number 7, and that is the normal cover, I'll let you go ahead and do the credits, and then I want to ask you a question about the Absolute line.
Okay, so Absolute Wonder Woman, The Lady or the Tiger, Part 2 of 2. Yeah, we're going to be reviewing a Part 2, but that's okay. Kelly Thompson, writer. Maria de Ilulis is the artist. Becca Carey did the lettering, and that cover is done by Hayden Sherman and Jordi Belair. He is the usual main artist of this book, but they are putting in a fill-in artist for the last 2 issues, so he can probably get caught up. And Wonder Woman was, of course, created by the late, great William Moulton Marston. So this absolutely is going to be a good read. What was your question? Hey, Zaxxus.
My question to you is,
yes,
we're 7 months in.
Yes.
Usually the cutoff for reading new books is right around issue 6. All right. And I think they were smart because this is the second part of a 2-issue, 2-issue arc. So if you stop at using number 6, well, you can if you're invested because you want to see what happens in issue 7. So that was kind of funny. Yes. But overall, before we get into this book, what are you thinking about the absolute titles, the first 3, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, the Trinity? What are you thinking? And generally,
so I don't read Superman. I have them all. I have yet to just sit with them. I've never really been a Superman fan, and even though the Absolute is a twist up on the origin and the original, I just don't care for the character. So I'm going to challenge myself to read these so I can let you all know what I think. But I am absolutely loving Batman. And, this Wonder Woman, I have been a Wonder Woman fan since Linda Carter did her spinning. So I have to say I'm enjoying this absolute Wonder Woman, but I'm also really enjoying the main continuity. DC Wonder Woman has been amazing, and it's also I think a two-part break from the story, investigating. She's got Batman on the God Island. I don't quite know what it's called, but investigating a murder. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying Wonder Woman. I haven't said that in a long time.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm kind of the opposite with you. I actually like Superman. Uh and Batman is okay. It's just okay. I don't, and maybe again, I know some people really like the artist who's on it. I can't remember his name, it's escaping me right now. But I can't remember his name, but the proportions are just a little too off for me in some of the instances. It kind of
Yeah.
like, if you ever read the book or see the book Baki.
Matteo Scalera,
Yeah, Sclera.
I
Yeah.
believe is the
Yeah.
artist.
But
I'll
it really
Google it.
reminds me of like a little bit of like this Baki the grappler, for Batman. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. But I do think that the strongest one so far has been Wonder Woman. I'm really liking what they're doing with her. And you really get three different sort of
I was wrong.
books.
It's Nick Dragata.
Yeah, you're right.
That's it.
Glad you looked. But I do believe that we get three different types. You get the magic, you get the street level action, and you get sort of like the paramilitary, like alien type stuff. And I think that that's really kind of cool that they're able to satisfy, everything else that's going on. And then the other absolute books are just kind of like plugging in the holes. Because with Martian Manhunter #2 came out, and the artwork is it's just you either like it or you hate it. It's very weird.
That Absolute
Green
Flash
Lantern
was actually really good too.
Yeah, Absolute
That
Flash was
#2
great. You get your teenage angsty there with that one, and then with Green Lantern, you have this weird sort of like superhero, but flipped on its ear. So I really like what they're doing with what they're bringing up. And then I just, the one thing that I'm still kind of worried about is the Legion. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with the Legion. This evil incarnation of a Legion, and I'm thinking, like, are we getting a 90s Legion? How 90s was all like extreme, and it's like, are we getting a 90s extreme Legion now? It's like, please just give me the regular Legion, or yeah, I don't know. So
I want to say real quick, think about what Justice League, or whatever they're going to call themselves, that the Absolute line is going to bring together to face Darkseid someday. That is going to be a crazy powerful lineup.
I think we're going to get I think, honestly, and I really hope that they do this, and I'm not just like preaching to the, into the wind. I really hope that we get the Superman. The Superman is the catalyst that kind of brings them all, like, Superman's the catalyst that brings them all together.
Yeah.
And then we get to see him interact with this evil Legion.
That'd be cool.
Because remember, Superboy and Legion of Superheroes, it'd be interesting to mirror that and have some crazy, crap happen with them. But
that would be really cool.
Yeah,
but we're getting the evil Legion over in, I think it's either Action or Superman.
Yeah.
Later in a couple months.
So to easy readers comment, yes, Wonder Woman doesn't get enough love, and
she never has.
And also Absolute Flash already has a rogues gallery, and I think that was easy to kind of like cut and paste and throw his rogues galleries to a blender because they're so iconic. I think they're one of the most iconic rogues galleries out there. But Wonder Woman definitely does not have one, or she has one, but nothing that's ever really stuck. And in this issue, I had hoped that we were getting, during the arena scene. I'm just moving a little faster over it, but during the arena scene where she's fighting the tiger, I really was hoping that would be a different personification of Cheetah, or we're gonna get Cheetah or some kind of, a version of Cheetah that has been, absolutified. But speaking of Absolute Wonder Woman, overall, I think this book has just been really, really great. I love the interaction between Wonder Woman and Circe. I've never really thought of Circe as being a mothering or caring type of person, and being so and sacrificing herself and doing all this, doing all this like maternal stuff with Diana, because they were always so like antagonistic to each other for
Right.
so long. So the fact that they're putting them together and having her be this sort of like really caring mother, for the longest time, for a few issues, I was hoping for like the other shoe to drop and Cersei to kind of like show her true colors, but she hasn't.
No, in
You know?
this, she's her mom,
Yeah.
and this issue really does put a little dot on that.
Hmm. Hmm. And then
So,
what did you think of it?
so the reason I love this absolute Wonder Woman, um, Kelly Thompson is giving us action and story and heart, everything that makes a book you want to read.
Yeah.
All the pieces are there. I stopped caring about Wonder Woman after it was Rebirth. What was before Rebirth? What did they call that when everyone got New Origins, new number one?
All new.
No, I can't remember what it was called, but it
Flashpoint.
was it was
New
Cliff
52.
Chang.
New
New
52.
52. Thank you,
Okay.
Kyle.
Thank
So
you. Muddy Chop
the
Kyle.
New 52 was very family oriented. Oh my God. All they talked about was her family. Her family was always in it, always about gods. And then Rebirth came and we thought maybe we'd get away, but no, it still had the gods in it. I don't mind the gods in Absolute Wonder Woman because they are not front and center. They are the reason why she's on that island. They're the reason why Cersei is her mother. And in this 2 issues, they're the reason why she learns about herself. Like, it's weird to say that the story in a comic book, the story and the art have to balance for me to be perfect. And these last couple issues with this not fill-in, I'm going to say guest, this guest artist, I love his art. I think that he brings not only a superhero toughness to her, but the edges are soft enough to where she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love seeing her as a child, especially learning the lessons or her running after different creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And this book is just so Wonder Woman. It's everything I've been craving, but it's all flipped on its head because she's magic.
Yep. Yep.
So
and she feels powerful too, and that's what I like about it.
yes, she feels powerful, and she doesn't have to wear the red, white, and blue of America like she did in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, her costume upgrade was really good.
Yes. So if you haven't, I don't know if the Absolute line has been traded yet. Because this is issue 7, they're probably going to stick 6 and 7 in that first trade.
Yeah.
Because the next issue starts a brand new story arc. I highly recommend picking this book up. They've reprinted the 1, 2, 3. They've printed them so many times. You could probably head to your local comic shop and get them. I cannot recommend Wonder Woman enough. So that's all. That's what I got to say about Wonder Woman.
Alrighty.
Hey, BB Haunted Comics. Hey, Space Case Collectibles.
Welcome in.
I watched BB Haunted Comics on Superman Day on Friday. He was with Jay from the show that Kyle does with him. I'm blanking on the name of it. I'm sorry. But it was 4 people talking about what they got from Superman Day. It was really cool. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, if it's still and the VOD is still up there. If you want to check it out, go to the experience and check it out.
Yes. So the next book up, I didn't want to read. It totally was just like, whatever, I don't care. It's Image. Image sometimes throws shit at wall, or stuff at wall, see if it sticks. So Des was like, here's a book we're going to read. And he put this in, and I was like, okay, whatever. It's got a robot, giant robot, a car, Bigfoot, a hot chick. Okay, let's read it. Wow.
That's all you can say about the book is wow.
Yeah, let me get you the things. Here's the things, people. Moonshine Bigfoot #1 from Image Comics. Mike Marlowe. It's purple, pink on white. Mike Marlowe did the writing. Steve Ellis did the penciling. Zach Howard was also writer and inker. Nelson Daniel did the coloring. Thompson Knox did the letters and design. And Moonshine Bigfoot was created by Zach Howard, Mike Marlowe, and Steve Ellis. What did you think?
Well, the reason why I wanted to read this was because it made me think of you and like, the Appalachians and all this other stuff, and I thought, yay, we'll read a Bigfoot comic.
I get to read about my people, is what you're saying.
Sort of. So yeah, speaking of, it is literally the story of one half of the Dukes of Hazzard versus so the major themes in this book are Dukes of Hazzard, Smokey and the Bandit, capitalism, of course, because hippies versus something, and weird alien technology,
and cryptids.
So you have like 5 different things that are all thrown into a blender, and then you get this. You kind of have to like really put your mind on like and then just kind of like just read it for what you're looking for, because it's just so like over the top and silly, and the art though is gorgeous. I think the art and the colors are gorgeous. I think the book looks fabulous. The story itself is just it's just wackadoo. It's wackadoo. He's a freedom fighter, and then there's these people that rule the world, this clandestine thing that rules the world, and then there's a chupacabra. The chupacabra gets away and it has a backup story. It's like it's just there's just so much going on. It really feels like someone ate some gummies and with their friends, and they figured, hey, this is what we have. And Kyle says this is from Chip Zdarsky's imprint at Image, so you can expect it to be back shit. Yes, it's bat crap crazy. It really is, and it's to the point where it doesn't feel like there's a cohesive narrative, because they're throwing a lot at you, but there is, and stuff is going on. Does it make sense? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't really know. What were your thoughts?
So it's funny you brought up Dukes of Hazzard, because within the first 4 pages, the narrator from Dukes of Hazzard, along with the banjo playing in the background, accompanied me reading this. And oh my God, by the time we got to the first jump over the river, I was like, this is Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes, right?
It is so Dukes of, and I loved the Dukes of Hazzard growing up. I mean, I loved the Dukes of Hazzard.
So sorry, go ahead. Someone's saying, sorry, Eddie Van is saying looks like Ant-Man. It's even weirder than that.
It is even weirder than that, yes. Yeah. So we don't even get to that till the last couple pages, Eddie. The last couple pages, the book takes an even weirder turn. So
thank you,
mentioned
baby.
the art. Yeah. The art is just kinetic and frantic and gorgeous, and there's a high-speed chase and a Hot Wheels jump, and they threw everything at the reader to make you want to read the number 2, and I cannot wait for the number 2. This book I never even would have read if it wasn't for the show, people. That is how much I liked this book.
Yes, and again, here's the thing about this stuff. Drink. We read this stuff and we bring it to you and review it. And sometimes I haven't heard that in a while. Huh? Sometimes it's kind of hit or miss. You know how it is with comics. And if you have disposable income, because that's what comics are, you can go in, you can pick these up. This is one of those ones that we really want you to pick up. And we've been kind of vague about the story a little bit, at least for my definition, because I really I know what's going on, but I really have to read it again to really see exactly if I missed anything, because not so much the dialogue, just the panel layouts and everything that's happening in the panel. There's a lot of weird stuff. There's this one scene where they're in a bar and he's trying to talk to someone, I think, and there's so much stuff going on in the panel.
Did you catch there were Smurfs?
No,
see, there was Tattoo from Fantasy Island. Big Bird's head was mounted on the wall. I mean, these guys, these writers, they are that's yes. So I
So
just want to say thank you, BB Haunted Comics,
yes,
and
thank you so
yes,
much.
Hydra Asylum. I watched their show too. It's Hydra Asylum. You need to watch their show for their intro. They have an awesome intro.
Yeah, and stay for the stuff. Stay for the
Yes,
the
yeah. But okay, Moonshine Bigfoot gets 2 giant thumbs up. Go pick this up at your LCS.
or
You
2
need
jugs
to.
up.
2 jugs up. Yes.
It's a very weird
Yes.
comic. It's a very weird comic, so definitely worth it.
Awesome.
Next up, and I don't know, I have to I blame Rich for this because I tell you one thing, I never really read or really got into the comics of the G.I. Joe comics. I never really did that. I don't know why. I had the toys. I had the toys. I watched the show. I practiced, the little stuff at the end, the PSAs. I did all that. I still remember swimming in a circle 8 to like not drown. I remember all that,
The power line. You didn't touch it down power line.
Didn't touch it down power line.
Nope.
So yes, I was down with G.I. Joe, but I never, for whatever reason, I never read the comics. I think it was because back in the day I was kind of like a snobby little kid who didn't like the artwork because it wasn't Jim Lee and blah, 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 but now after picking this stuff up, I really actually have a better like appreciation for the classic Joes. Like I really do. And it's interesting because these are the silent mission ones. And I think for some reason, I don't know why, especially the last one, this really helps me just to understand the characters a little bit more and see them in action. I don't know.
2 questions. One, experience. Knowing is half the battle. Do you know what the other half is, though? And 2, Des, do you think that doing a silent issue with no words would challenge you as a writer?
No.
No?
No. Because here's the thing. And that really depends on the type of writer you are. Because, you could be a script writer and write as a script like most folks do now, or you can do it the Marvel way and just write a long synopsis and give key like points that you hit, and then you give like little kind of like little words, like little bits of dialogue to kind of like indicate to the artist that this is what's going on, if you wanted to do it that way. But if you subscribe to the Stan Lee or Marvel style of writing, then it leaves it largely up to the artist to really kind of interpret what is being said. And I believe that having scripted out comics and written comics and worked with artists in order to get that stuff, it really also depends on the artist, because I've worked with artists who are very like scene driven. You tell them, I want this to look like this, and they'll give you exactly what you want. And you're like, okay, great. And then I've worked with artists who are like, who are very comfortable in their artwork and just able to speak, their truth and say, hey, I'm a visual artist. I went to school for it. Why don't you try giving me an outline and I will fill out the pages. And I said, sure, we can definitely try it that way. And I will say, after that experience, I had a lot better time because I was actually able to free up the artist to really utilize that sort of like his 3-dimensional like viewing and eyesight and like imagine, and it's his image, to really make some very dynamic pages. So I really was, after that, I was like, well, damn, okay, well. But it really depends on how you work as a writer and how they work as an artist and how you're able to mesh together. But for me, I prefer to let the artists do their thing, and I come back and then I'll add the script or the word bubbles or whatever, because I've lettered comics and all that other stuff. So I can do that. So for me, it's fun to look at these silent mission comics and see the artist have fun, and hope that the writer said, okay, this is Roadblock. Roadblock's going to be fighting this. Roadblock's going to be doing this, and they let it go. Like, I like that.
Yeah. So Rob Liefeld's been talking a lot about that on Twitter, the Marvel method. So Yeah, I would love to get into that sometime. But so let me do this real quick.
Sure.
Andrew Kroenke was the writer artist. Francesco Segala was the colorist, and there was a bunch of covers. So the art in this was different from the other ones. This was a little bit more looser and remind me a lot of of an indie comic. Like this one didn't feel like
The last one?
the last one, or even the very detailed stylistic first issue with Jinx, where that was very stylized in that artist's,
Mm-hmm. I think the best one, and again, for me, art is subjective and whatever, but the one that told the best story was the second one so far.
Yeah, so far. So I'm just gonna say two things about this book. Not anything negative. This is second in the ranking of the three we've read. I'm glad Roadblock got a big gun because he wouldn't be without it. Like I was kind of going into this pages in like, where's your gun? So I'm glad he finally had a big gun. And two, and I feel like this was a comic book that had words at one time and the words were just taken out. Like it's
Yeah.
the last issue didn't feel like it had words. And the first issue we read with the Jinx was not Jinx specific, but this one I feel like it was done, and they're like, just remove the words. Kind of how I felt.
Are they all done by the same writer?
No, they've been different writers.
Okay. So then, yeah, you don't know. I know they're different artists, but
yes,
I wasn't sure if it was the same writer doing them all. So yeah, and again, you're gonna see different interpretations depending on how the creative team works together. And again, this is just one of those things that's an interesting, way to sell comics and to tell stories and to see what's going on. And it's weird because now after experiencing these silent missions, I think I'm actually going to jump onto the main G.I. Joe. Sorry, the G.I. Joe Real American Hero.
Good.
And see
and you
how
don't
that
need to know anything about any of the characters.
Yeah.
So the first trade is out. I think you should get it. And welcome in, Canadian Survivalist.
Yes, and what was that? Hydra Asylum Comics says, between the laser rifles and missing all the time, I wonder if G.I. Joe was the blueprint for Stormtroopers. Unfortunately, Stormtroopers came out first. So if anything, Stormtroopers were the blueprint for G.I. Joe. Remember,
but okay, so the other half is never hitting. No, so it's knowing is half the battle, and the other half is extreme violence.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
So
I just want to say, oh my God, I saw I Know What You Did Last Summer trailer.
I did not.
Oh my God, so good. I can't wait to see. I remember seeing the first one in the theater a long time ago.
I hate to say it, but I'm all about Megan 2.0.
Oh my God, that looks so freaky. So freaky.
It's so silly the fact that they turned it from a horror movie into an action movie. It's like they literally are stealing it from Aliens. They're literally doing the alien stuff. It's silly.
Okay, so gotta take our first break.
Yes, we'll take our first and only break. When we come back, we're talking about 3 more comics and a comic that was surprisingly more brutal than I was expecting. I was really shocked by it. So stay tuned and find out which one that was.
Sure, comic books are beautiful, but underneath, there's something more authentic and exciting. The original art. See the pencils, the lines, the shading, as if you were there in the studio watching the artist work. Getting a peek at comics' backstage is easy with the original art experience.
All right, Friday night, guys. Thank you for being here. To be doing anything, the fact that you're here means the world to me.
Nick's pieces are always value priced with your budget in mind, for the beginning collector to the veteran.
And this is gorgeous. You got Aquaman and Mira.
Join the original art experience with Nick and our friendly crew of regulars, even if it's just to enjoy the art. Fridays at 7. It's all part of the experience. Hey, Did you know that you're invited to an art gala? No, I mean the fun kind. It's Sketch Up with Mog and Mel.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks again for joining us.
Featured guests talk about their new projects.
So it takes place in this fantasy world where the world has kind of lost its stories.
And life as an artist.
The hope was that you could make some amount of money when you exited art school.
While the ever-changing artist panel draws new works live in front of your eyes.
Oh, I like that. Working on the
And
shadow.
that's sexy. Sex, dude.
You still got a little bit of time.
Ooh, Phil, that's dope, dude.
Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. Thursday nights. Part of the experience.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are watching the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Beardy Rich.
And I'm Little Black Beardy Des. Nice to meet you all again.
Nice to meet you. As you tip
Hi,
your
Lorena. What'd you say?
hat. I said, nice to meet you as you tip your hat.
Yeah.
So we got a giveaway, and if no one claims it, I will get it, and I want this because it's gorgeous.
Mm.
It is the Absolute Wonder Woman 1 in 25 by Dustin Nguyen.
I think that's right.
Name?
Dustin Nguyen.
When?
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
He also does some backups in this. We reviewed this in the first part of the show, so if you missed it, go back and rewatch. So the next book up.
Whew.
Well, I gotta find the credits, so go ahead and tell. Oh, here it is.
It's right on the top, right on the front.
Predator versus Spider-Man, a book I never would have read if it wasn't for this show. Written by Benjamin Percy, art by Marcelo Ferreira. Jay Liston did the something, and Frank
O'Reilly?
Armada maybe
Armada?
did something. I don't know. It's red on black. I can't read it. So,
Killing me.
these people, put your credits if you want people to read the freaking credits.
Okay,
Make it so
Easy
we can
Rider.
read it.
Easy Rider, you are 100% that it should have been a Red Brand trailer.
Oh my God, yes.
That thing, this comic, oh my lord. Woo! I was not expecting it. I was not expecting it at all. Like, okay. So number one, it's kind of got a little bit of that Predator 2 stuff going on. I don't know if you remember watching Predator 2 with Danny Glover. But it took place in LA in the future, and it wasn't really, I mean, it's canon, but it's in the future, and the Predator comes down to LA during a heat wave and starts killing cops and stuff like that. This sort of reminded me of that because it takes place in New York during a heat wave. And what's happening is the Predator is here and he is hunting, bad people. And this is the weird thing. The Predator only really used to hunt sport. So they never would hurt innocents. They would only hurt people who were generally they felt as being game or big game. Like that's why they hunted humans with guns and whatnot. In the movie, in the movies, they let the people who were non-combatants go. There's no honor in that. And I really hope that that's how this is. But there was a scene in which, the Predator, wearing. Okay, so in this one, the Predator. So basically, Peter Parker is investigating a murder scene in which all of these people, and this is pretty gruesome, the people have lost their skin, and they show you everything in the comic. You see people strung up with their skin and blood everywhere. So it's a pretty visceral comic if you're not prepared for it, and I wasn't, because the artwork is very, very dynamic. It's very, very good. It's very, very good. It's some of the best artwork I've seen in a comic in a very long time. See, he rips someone's face off, people. It's pretty bad. And he puts the face on and he's terrorizing a train. And I don't know if this is a crazy Predator or what's going on. MJ, of course, is in danger. That's what happens. So anyway, Peter Parker starts, investigating this. J. Jonah Jameson is doing his crazy stuff because there's a serial killer and all this other stuff is going on, and then out of nowhere, I was not expecting this at all.
Do you want to spoil it?
Hell yeah, Kraven the Hunter shows up. So technically, it's Predator versus Spider-Man versus Kraven. That's what this book is about. And the fact that this is not canon to anything, it literally takes place on its own. I can only imagine how like bloody it's gonna get. And we've seen blood before. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I've read Wolverine, I've read Deadpool, I've read that stuff, and it's done for laughs and it's funny. This was not done for laughs, people. This was very visceral and it was very like in your face because he was ripping people's face off. But still, it was crazy. So, Rach, what was your thoughts?
Again, much like Moonshine, much like one of the books we're going to be reviewing coming up, I absolutely loved this book. It was back to a Spider-Man that wasn't a schlub. It was violent. I love Kraven. It was everything I wanted. Benjamin Percy, I love his writing. It was adult.
It's crazy.
Yes, BB. It was horror. It was crazy book, and I'm going to get this number. So I didn't order this for myself, but I'm going to actually get the number one. I don't care if it's a second printing, and I'm going to get this series. Okay, I got to know how it ends.
The one thing that's crazy is when you said it reminded me of like not a schlub. This is the 90s version of Spider-Man. I would say this is when the stories were adult, and actually this is more so. This is actually feels like it's more like 80s, 70s sort of Spider-Man vibe that I'm getting from it because
because of the way
photographer he's working
and the way he interacted with J. Jonah.
It's set in a time period that it was more definitely not family friendly, and it just feels like this is a much more adult Spider-Man. So I really like the way this has been set up and the artwork and everything about it. Like, this is like 2 enthusiastic thumbs up. Like, this was a really great story, and I was turning the pages like, oh my god. And then the detective that's running around trying to figure out what's going on. Woo! It was a great. It's a great story, y'all. It's a really good story. Like, if it really reminded me of those 70s sort of like a more I don't want to say mature, but more, I don't want to say modern either. It's just it's where they didn't sugarcoat everything or make everyone like dumb down everyone. It was just, I don't know, it's just everything it just feels more adult, I guess. I don't know, but it's good.
I'm looking up to see how many issues it's going to be, and I want to say 4. Probably, Eddie. Probably 4 is my guess.
Oh, it's not horror. That's the thing. It's not horror. It's a straight up superhero comic in which people at this point don't know that it's an alien. They're just fear that it's a serial killer.
I thought it was a predator.
Yeah, yeah. So, but that's what's so cool about it is like Spider-Man has no idea what's going on. And then Kraven shows up out of nowhere. Mary Jane's missing. So it's like there's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of buildup and stuff in this first issue. Yes, kind of like a Grindhouse movie. You're exactly right, Paul. I don't know. It just has a really, really good feel. No Spider-Mobile unless it's got a chainsaw on it or something. I don't know. Great. Pick it up. If you pick up anything this week, pick this up. It's great. And then you would think like, oh, it's a 20th Century Fox tie-in. It's not going to be good. Although the Aliens versus Avengers, that was actually pretty good. That was actually a pretty good story. This one just leagues above it. So, woo. Sorry, I usually don't gush about comics like this. So, like when I was reading it, I actually was like, "Damn, this is really good." Anyway,
much like a couple weeks ago. This is going to be a great show because we had some great comics.
Yeah,
and the next one we're going to be doing, I again wasn't planning on reading. He picked this up. He's like, he loves Cullen Bunn to begin with.
Yes, fantastic.
So
Sixth Gun
Coog usually picks up all the Cullen Bunn stuff. And so we had it, and I was like, okay, so let's read it. What the hey? Arcana Royale. Hey, it was by Cullen Bunn. Coog just got up.
That's
Art
awesome.
by A.C. Zamudio. Colors by Bill Crabtree. Letters by Joshua Reed. And that cover is by A.C. Zamudio. And that is actually one of the dealers
Mhm.
that you see in this crazy casino
It's not
thing.
really a casino.
No,
it's like it's a card game.
but it's many people. There's
Yeah.
many going on.
But it's like various different magical creatures. Fairies,
Including the sock puppet.
a sock puppet, a giant sock puppet. A sock puppet that can change its size. It's very much a grab
Oh,
bag of mystical creatures that. Oh hey, and
Oh
now
my
we're demonetized.
God.
Thanks, we're demonetized, Rich. Thanks. So yeah, it's basically this for lack of a
Woman.
better term, it's a poker game. It's a
Oh,
poker
yeah, I thought you
game.
were talking about the woman.
No, it's a poker game between mystical arcana type creatures. And this woman named Hudson tricks her way or finds her way in. We don't know how she got there, but she is betting amongst these mystical creatures in this card game that is sort of like poker, but it's used with various different types of tarot cards. And I don't know the rules of the game. They don't explain the rules of the game, but
The outcomes can affect life. Like,
yes, in the
that's
future,
the thing.
the
Yeah.
present, and the past, the outcome basically affect the, I don't want to say whims, but they affect mortals' lives in very good or bad ways, and that's the wager. You're wagering either calamity or boons for humanity. It's very weird. It's the concept is very weird. But anyway, this human woman is invited. She got an invitation. She's doing this, but she's a hustler, and she was trained to do this by this clandestine human thing that's trying to stop them or do something with them. And so she is this kind of like person who's doing that. And she's kind of a badass, riot girl, tank girl kind of person. And she's taking on these people because, she has no fear. And at this fear, this no fear she has kind of comes back to bite her in the butt. So
It does.
What did you think, Rich?
I liked it. Like I said, I wasn't ever planning on reading this, and now I really got to know, especially after that last panel, what happens and why she is so flippant about the stakes. Because we get this image from her that she is this badass, don't give a damn kind of character, but like you said, comes back to her. So what is her next step? Like, I'm actually invested with one issue. I'm invested enough in this lady to be like, okay, I gotta see what happens. I love the different creatures that we created for this. The sizes. Some are sitting on chairs, some are sitting on the floor, some are sitting on
and the places where they have the card game, it's always different. They have it in cemeteries, they have it
slaughterhouses,
they have it
scenes, abandoned churches, cemeteries.
So they have them at various different places, and you get an invite, and then you show up. But of course, because she has this, devil may care attitude, and she rubs certain people the wrong way, and she rubs someone the wrong way, and it came back to bite her. This one I really don't want to spoil, because I think that this is, while it's, I was not predicting the outcome, but when it happened, I was like, okay, it seems like you kind of painted yourself into a corner. Let's see how you get out of it. And I like when writers do that, where they paint themselves into a corner, and then you're kind of wondering, how are they going to get out of this one, or what can happen now, to a person who, when something happens to a person who has a devil may care attitude. I don't know. I'm a fan of Colin Bunn. I'm much more of a fan of his stuff that is not strictly horror. I've never been a fan of his strictly horror stuff. But this book, because it deals with the arcane, and it deals with mysticism, and it deals with fantastical creatures,
less horror, more fantasy.
Exactly. And the whole card game, this is something that I think Paul would like too, because Paul is an avid blackjack player, so I think that he would get a kick out of it.
Running those tables when you're out.
It really is. Don't get him to Vegas. But yeah, I think this is a really good one, and this is another one again, and it's only 4 issues as it says on the cover. This is one thing that if you do have that income, you're able to spend it on something new, try it, or wait for the trade. I do think that it's gonna be good. I don't know if it's gonna be like a 4 and done. I hope not. I hope it sticks around because it does seem like it can have legs. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Yep, same. I was thinking, so you're always talking about waiting for the trade. This actually, I think, would read really well, especially considering that last panel. I think this would read well as a trade because it got me to be like, I need to know. I need to know. But if you're a fan of single issues, pick it up. Again, another great book today.
Yeah, and also, I think this is a great time to plug one of Kyle's shows, Mud and Chop Kyle, his show, where you can do an FOCs. I hate to put you on the spot, Kyle, but we haven't really given our information about some of the other shows that are on the experience. Right after us is Mog and Mel, and they have fantastic artists, like you saw in the commercials. They have fantastic artists who come in, talk about comics, and they draw. So it's really kind of cool. I have actually watched a couple of them because I'm one of those people that watches people drawing on like YouTube. So I watch people draw on some of those drawing shows. So it's kind of crazy. But anyway, go ahead, Kyle.
So tomorrow on Order Up, which is at 1:00 Eastern, and then subtract 3 hours from that to get the West Coast time. I'm too tired to do the math. We have 10:00 Eastern, 10:00 Pacific, yes. We have Fred Van Lente and the whole team from Recca Publishing's new book, The Future Is ... For 5 dots. Anyway, it's a sci-fi cybersecurity themed publisher that's actually part of a larger company called Black Hills Information Security. That this book it's a sci-fi story, but it has a Ready Player One element to it that is interactive for the readers. Really cool concept that they're doing. And then we actually are going to have a second set of guests. Normally we only have one interview, but Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing are coming by, who are writing Giant Size X-Men.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have them on as well tomorrow. It's a very special episode. And then, just so everybody's aware, tomorrow night on the original art show, on Nick's original art show, he is giving away $2,000 plus of art.
Wow.
Doing
Everyone
giveaways.
needs to tune into that.
The problem is I collect art, and so whenever I just know I'm gonna spend
He has 2 pages on the show tomorrow that I'm trying to actively buy from him before the show.
Yeah.
And I'm going, hey, if you're giving away $2,000 worth of art, can you just give me those 2 pages and not make me pay for them? It'll cut down the amount you're giving away,
right?
But that's not how that works, apparently. So
yeah, unfortunately. But you heard it from the man himself, everybody. Fantastic shows. Definitely tomorrow. Sounds great. Please tune in. That is 1:00 Eastern Standard Time, 10:00 Pacific Standard Time. Show up, hang out, tell your friends about it, and as always, like, share, and subscribe, because again, we want to build a community. We got people saying that we're their favorite show. We love that. Thank you so much.
Reminder to everyone. Sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
No, one more thing I wanted to mention. Back in the old days, Rich and Coog and I were the only bearded comic sellers doing this on the internet. Well, I'm back at it, so I will be back Sunday at 1:00 Pacific, 4:00 Eastern, doing a comic sale here on the Experience.
Awesome.
So check it out.
So the godfather of comic sales is back. Except that he's got mutton chops and won't turn you into Fredo.
So I just want to remind everyone that we are not on next week.
Is it next week?
It is next week.
We
will be at Thunderbolts.
You had to think about it.
I had to be like, what movie are we seeing? I don't remember.
Thunderbolts Asterix.
Yes.
So,
Nancy and Friday Night Live is back. Oh, cool. I
Yes.
like watching them.
So we'll definitely be giving you our report back on our thoughts about the movie. Of course, it'll be a week late, so we hope that you have seen it and you can discuss it with us and we can laugh at it and blah blah blah. Yeah, so maybe, and of course, maybe we'll have a stand-in, another beardy, and I don't think he has a beard. Don't think Jay has a beard. So
He's kind of got a beard.
yeah. So then they can kind of cosplay as us. You never know. So so we have one more comic, and then we'll get to our fantastic giveaway. That next comic, if you please, my friend.
New champions.
Number 4. Can you believe that? Number 4. It's gone 4 issues.
It's going to be canceled by 9. So
Stop
writer is
it.
Steve Fox.
Thank
The
you.
artist is Ivan Fiorelli. Color artist is Arthur Hesley.
Ugh.
The letter is VC's Travis Lanham. And the cover was done by Gleb Melkinov and Arthur Hesley.
You're killing me, sir. It's going to be canceled by 9. I'm actually enjoying it.
Hey, Tom Brevoort has already said that most books are going to be canceled by 9, and they're not going to go any further than 9. So this book will be canceled by 9.
Get him out of here. Sorry, Tom, if you're watching, I don't believe you. I don't like that. Just let it go. Just let it go.
He also hates Krakoa. That's why we have this, I can't say the word, expletive X-Men books running around. So anyhow, this book introduces, it finally makes the team that was brought together because of too long of a backstory, and they finally sit around and tell each other their names. So it took 4 issues. Okay, we're finally there.
It's a slow burn. That's what I liked about it. Getting to and again, they're youth and a bit of angst and whimsy. You expect that from youth. I really do not like angst. I really don't, especially from youth. But for some reason, with these guys, it works. I don't know. I like teen superheroes. I like the way that they act. I'm a little okay with the angst. I think that the way this team is done and how they've been brought together is kind of fun. It's been an interesting and fun read. It's not complicated at all. It is the complete opposite of like that Spider-Man versus Predator thing, or Predator versus Spider-Man thing. This is completely,
the opposite.
Yeah, it's milquetoast superheroes, folks, and sometimes you just kind of want that. You sometimes you just kind of like that. At least I want that. I don't know.
I have not read Assorted Crisis Events number 2 yet. I read about it. I know that, yes, like Kyle said, there's some feelings. I'll be reading that tomorrow. Today, I only read the books I needed to read. Tomorrow will be my read everything else that I care about reading.
Okay, we're talking about this book now. So what do you think about this book, sir?
It was a book.
Oh, wow. You're killing me.
Well, no, like you said, it's milquetoast. I mean, I read it because I needed to. I haven't read 2 or 3, so I read 1 and I read 4, and I don't feel like the story's going anywhere because in 4 issues, it's the same thing as issue 1.
They're getting to know each other. It's their lives.
Okay, but you know what? You got 9 issues to tell a story. Get to the point.
According to
anyhow, I didn't hate it by any means, people. It was very
generic,
YA, and very generic.
It's very generic. It's very YA.
I do absolutely love the little Ghost Rider roller skate girl. Like, she just needs a series because she's my favorite.
She
cool. Really is.
The one kid that I do not like is the knockoff Cannonball. He's kind of annoying. So basically, about this book, you find out that Gold Tiger, some weird stuff that happened in Wakanda, and there's a tiger god, and she was blessed with this alchemical touch. So her hands are actually gold because she's learned, she was born and she had these different gold patches on her. And whenever that patch touched something, it turned to gold. And so through training, she's able to utilize them and move them into her hands. And she can form claws and whatnot. And that's where Gold Tiger comes from. And whatever she touches turns into gold, but it reverts back to whatever state it was after a couple hours. So it's only temporary. So that's basically the story that we get. We get a protracted story, a little bit about her, and then the people come and save her. Not save her. They come and help her out, and then and then they go on and start to tell each other about everything, and then they go and they beat the bad guy, and then even
The
in
end.
the end, it literally is the end. Like they tell you at the end of it, they say like, you know, they beat these guys, you know, it says not to be continued. They beat the crap out of these guys or whatever. The next issue is about something completely different. So it's like, and I'm like, okay, I guess
That is how they're telling the story. We get told what happened, and that's it. So
yeah.
yes. Okay, so get your Geek Chat hashtag Geek Chat in. Well, we talked about the book. That's it. It's fine.
I
We
really
had
love
so
making
many
you
good
this-
books today, though.
I love making you read stuff like that because I just know deep in your heart you're just kind of like cringing, like, and I love it. I love making you cringe. Anyway, if you haven't already, please put in hashtag Geek Chat into the chat to win the fantastic Wonder Woman, Absolute Wonder Woman number 7. It's a great book, really fantastic. Hopefully, it'll you know, move you to get the number 1 and the other ones that have been or whatever. Who knows? But
all right,
go ahead, producer Kyle. Please roll that beautiful bean footage.
I know who I'm secretly rooting for.
I'm ready for someone. Canadian Survivalist.
Canadian Survivalist. Congratulations.
Yeah, you're good. Cool. All right then. All you have to do, my friend, is Kyle's going to put into the chat the form that you can fill out. Fill that form out, please. Within 72 hours, sooner, because we're kind of backed up. I know some of you are still waiting for your stuff. We will take care of that this weekend. A couple stuff happened, but we will be taking care of that. So you will be getting it soon. So please just fill that out and we'll get them out to you. Having said that, that's it. Again, no show next week. We're going to be seeing the Thunderbolts
Asterisk,
and hopefully you all will see it too, and then we can talk about it on our show when we come back.
All right, everyone. Thank you for spending your Thursday night with us. Stay tuned. Sketch Up with Mog and Mel is next. Be sure to watch all the shows on The Experience. They're amazing. All these guys are great. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere The Experience is all the time.
Thanks.